overcome in the sense, nowadays, what happened, every person of the world, the whole world also, everyone under the stress. It may be lower level, it may be higher level. Of course, that is also the depending on the receiving, the perceiving of the individual. The stress is common, but the way of the dealing with the stress is differ to person to person. So maybe we can call the low level of stress, maybe high level of stress, maybe medium range of the stress. But stress is common in our life. But that stress leads to be number of diseases and consequences, and it spoil the number of issues also. Mostly the stress comes from what the related to the some negative aspects only. So here, coming to the point, 1 minute. One minute. So what is stress here? I missed one slide here. 1 minute. So anyway, the stress is especially for it is a non-specific response of the body to demand for any changes. Non-specific response. We cannot assume that. So any kind of situation, so we cannot expect such kind of changes within the body. So maybe for the minor stress also, for the major stress also, something would be changed which we affect on our personal and professional life. And stress can be defined as a state of worry and mental tension and caused by the difficult situation. Suppose number of situations we are facing in the life. So, for example, maybe personal life, maybe education, academic level. After that, what some kind of academic levels, maybe after the completion of education, job, maybe after that, a settlement of the life. Okay, at every stage, we are facing some kind of difficulty situation. But what happened? That kind of difficulty situation makes and create one kind of worry and mental tension, which caused by to the which is caused to number of diseases. And stress is naturally human response that prompts us to address the challenges and threat in our life. It is one kind of what the stress in the sense it is not the people mindset is completely regarding the stress negative, but the stress mostly functions as a effect positively only, but beyond that level, whenever our capability, when the demands are completely, when the situation is completely beyond our level, we cannot cope up, then that leads to stress. Simple example, I will give you the small example. When we cannot solve the problem, so no need to take the stress, but people are unnecessarily taking the stress at the same time. When we can solve the problem also, even the number of attempts we can solve the problem also, we know that. But again, we are under stress. In the sense what the way of thinking is differ. The stress is common, the way of thinking is differ, the receiving is differ. Okay, that is here. And any environmental or physical pressure that elicits a response from the organism, it most causes of stress promote the survival because it forces the organism to adapt to rapidly changes of environmental conditions. That's the quality of the human being. They can change. Mostly they can easily, they can change themselves. They can mold themselves. And the stress can come from any situation or any thoughts also. Currently, for example, yesterday only I read one article regarding that. So if you close your eyes and felt that what you are under the completely one room and completely room is locked. Okay, completely in the room also you are under the water. So assume that you can unable to take the breath. So once if you feel and visualize that also, then it will be you will get under, you will get the stress also. In the sense, stress come any kind of situation, any kind of thinking thought process also. But only one thing, that leads to what here? Frustration, anxiety, anger, worry, some kind of neurotic and psychotic disorders also. So this is the cause. And then coming to the point, so stress is a response. So stress is mostly due to physical, in the sense physical conditions because of, and psychological conditions of the individual that will happen, the response. So first of all, the psychological, physical conditions, what happened? The somatic reaction generated the response to the event or situation. Somatic, the physiological changes. And then psychosomatic also, their internal feelings also psychologically changes within the body. That's what I told you, that what imagination, thinking, pressure, anxiety. So these all around internally some changes. So the stress affects to physically and psychologically. And some also they what some experts stated that what most nowadays most of the diseases and most of the health issues caused by stress levels only. For 90% of causes are stress causes is stress only, not the physical, not the any other condition. Only the stress is causes. So what is the nature here? What in the sense to threatening from the event in an event in environment like affect the thousands of people. Currently, just in the first word that what the whole world is under the stress, either personal, maybe professional, completely what the thousands of people, all the people, not the thousands, complete the whole world, the people by birth also. That's what our topic is. What the stress across the all the age groups, the all the people in the sense, including children, adolescents, okay, teenage people, adulthood people, everyone is under the stress only. So that affects on the health, productivity of the individual, and half of visits of the physicians for what? Precipitated stress only. The most of the doctor, the people, those are visiting the hospitals, they are also because of the stress causes only. So this is, and then coming to the point, when the stress occurs? When? So maybe for example, if you take the societal environmental conditions currently, too much noise. Hmm? Too much noise in the sense what here? So completely. So when the situation is condition is not acceptable. So maybe in the environmental conditions, what here? Maybe pollution, sound pollutions, crowd, then also will get the stress. If you take the office, number of burdens, that is also. If you take the mobile, continuously talking with the mobile, that is also one kind of stress. Having the, if listen, whether the condition is it favorable or unfavorable also, if you are doing that conditions for the same, if you have been in the situation for the long time, that will lead to stress. For example, if you take the food, for example, so continuously if you're taking the same food for the long time, so what will happen? That is also one kind of vex and stress. If you're doing the same work for the long time, that is also. So we should practice innovatively, so that we will discuss in later. So when the stress occurs means what? That situation, the condition is acceptable. When it is not acceptable by us, so when we are not receiving properly, definitely we are under the stress. When we are not interested in that situation, condition, maybe study, maybe job, then also we will under the stress. Okay, when we want to do get the something, but when we ego hurt means what happened? Egos that generally it's ego means what the people are taking the one kind of the greatness, not the greatness here. Ego means the self-respect, one kind of feeling the people self-respect. So someone give the feedback to you. Okay, your session is, for example, not good. Okay, my session, maybe your work is, your job is not good. You're not doing properly. Any kind of negative feedback or any kind of negative comments, okay, any kind of criticism, sometimes positive feedback also create the stress, but this is also negative also, mostly it will develop the stress within the people. Maybe fear about the future, some people, and worry about the past, and when we lose the something which we feel as important, that is also. It seems to too much of anything that can lead to be, so that's what we discussed earlier. And it is always due to the what? Perception of the mind. So for example, if you're interested to talk with someone, so then there is no stress. Suppose you are not interested to talk with the people, then definitely, obviously, within the 2 minutes also you will get the stress. That is what happens here. And then positive stress. What is positive stress here? Positive means what? Mostly, generally, stress is generally two types, ma. Positive and negative. So positive means what? Which motivates us. Just now I told you that what the positive comments and positive feedback. So what happened? That will improve, or that will create some kind of develops a responsibility. So motives, focus of energy, and in short term, long term also it will develop our responsibility. Create what it is one kind of indication of our the develop responsibility levels, and pursued within our coping abilities, and feeling exciting and improves performance. These all are one kind of positive responses. Whereas the negative in the sense what? Whenever you feel well, negatively, that leads to anxiety. Okay, that anxiety leads to some kind of neurotic disorder. Again, in psychology, we can say that. At the same time, that can be short term, it may be long term. So anxiety, suppose the anxiety may be some other kind of health, for example, stress related problems, anxiety, there may be frustration, maybe conflicts. Suppose it is for the long term, what happened? That will turn as anxiety. Again, that anxiety also what happened? So anxiety also, so that leads to be what? The anxiety leads to be general anxiety and OCD, phobia, panic attacks, Okay, that these all PTSD, these all are what comes under the anxiety problem. So when the negative stress causes of anxiety, that leads to then the short term in one type, for long term also one type. It perceived as out of our coping abilities, and that people feel unpleasant, and that can lead to be mental and physical problem, and decreases the performance. When the people are complete, maybe initially it maybe gives them maybe productivity, but suppose the people are having the stress for the long term, what will happen? Definitely it affect on our productivity. Okay. And then simply here also the thing is what? Fight or flight responses. The people under the anxiety, maybe stress, they're mostly using the two things. One is fight. The second one is flight. So fight in the sense what? We can face the situation. We can face the situation. We can find the solution. We can react. In the sense we can defend ourselves. We can protect ourselves through the fight. It may be sometimes we maybe get the negative result also, but the people can face. That is. And the negative, the flight reaction, what here? Flight means we can escaping from that situation. So that is also one kind of symptom of the stress. And the people, those are completely under the stress, they are doing these two things only, either fight or flight. Okay. And then now coming to the point, what are the stress across the life? What are the stress across the life? In the sense we have infancy, says 1 minute. Again, that slide is making some disturbances. Anyway, so infancy, in first childhood level, childhood in the sense what? So childhood, adolescence, adulthood, these are the three levels. In the adulthood also, younger adulthood, middle adulthood, and later adulthood, in the sense old age. There are each and every stage here, one stage has a one kind of stress levels. For example, if you take the childhood, so childhood, what happened? The people, the children, they're grown up people. So what happened? The completely conflict between the parents. So parents in the sense what? So for example, parents are not in proper positive. That means healthy relations. So they always, the mother is telling the one thing and father is doing one thing. So they are unable to understand. So what happened? Always arguing with the parents. There is no proper relation. Maybe single parent. So what happened? These people are completely get the stress, conflict. So what to do, where to do, where do I go, where do I can find the happiness, so these things. So that only what happened nowadays at the childhood also, people have some physical issues, maybe sugar, I mean diabetic, some other issues, anxiety issues. And recently, yesterday only one news we read in the newspaper also, what that, so the ninth class students at Hyderabad, I think so, ninth class student, the group of the people killed the faculty. So I don't know what the things that happens in the society because of the stress only, the way of living, the way of grown up, the surroundings, the habituation, the parents' relations. If the parents have a healthy relations, definitely nothing will happen. The students cannot, the children cannot understand. But here also what happened? So the conflict between the parents also. So that is also, and then abuse or neglect. So when the parents are separated, single parent, maybe from parents are bad habits, so complete the neglecting, and the parents are always using the what abusing words in front of the children. So what happened? That leads to again stress. So why? Because they have either the people are habituating that one, otherwise the people are what completely getting the stress. This is also, and recently one more example also, one more article also in the newspaper only. So the group of 8th class students, and they took the one friend and then they killed and thrown into the well. So that is also the way they learn. They learn in the sense what? The family and either society or some other media, social medias. So these all are causes of stress only, because of the stress only. So this is what, and unable to family expectations. Sometimes what happened? So knowingly or unknowingly, or fortunately, unfortunately, family members have a lot of expectation on their kids. So even though they got the good score in the exam, even the 80, 90, so what happened? That family members completely, what happened? They are unable to reach, the parents are completely expecting more and scolding and threatening. So because of that reason also, children get the stress. One more example regarding that case study only. In one village, when I was the masters, I heard one inform news that what very terrible information. Not the terrible here. So how the children committed suicide. So at that time, what happened? So the children, the child in the intermediate, he got the good score, 80 or 90 percentage, even though fear of the father. Why? Because he, what he set a goal for that, you have to be got the score at 95 percentage, something above the 90. Even though he is a lecturer at that time, he was a lecturer at that time. So, but he set a goal. So because of the fear, that intermediate person, adolescent boy, didn't show his progress report to his father. So when he forced him, so he said that what, I will go and I will bring that progress card. He said that, and then committed suicide. So because of expected unreasonable family expectations. Whenever there is a no problem, there is no issue for marks here. So, but even though our family members, maybe because of the what the societal societal ads only, public the publicity regarding schools and everything, also the societal view only. So we don't know, that is also not blaming to family members, but automatically what happened, they're more expected on their kids. That leads to stress. This is also, and changing in family financial conditions. Family financial condition means maybe parents what they invest their money in some kind of business, maybe if for unfortunately they may got the loss. So then also 3 days back, one father thrown his 2 kids in the water because of the financial crisis, and he is also jumped in that water, but fortunately he knows the swimming, he came back, but 2 kids were, the girls were dead. In the sense what, because of financial reason. So number of issues, maybe not only the financial reason, also maybe in the business, maybe job, maybe someone may be cheating to the family, and more expectation for the more interest, of how much interest they put the invest in the some business. So cheated to the people. That is also cause of what? Stress in the childhood. So the family stress in the sense, obviously that will affect on the child. And then being a victim of bullying. So this is very, very important for the children. What happened in the schools? Okay, in the schools, maybe tuitions, what happened? That children have a victim of bullying. Maybe someone may be beating, maybe bullying and kicking. So number teasing to the people. So this what happened? They're unable to bear. Even though the class teachers also, unfortunately, sometimes they are not recognized. So nowadays, what happened? The teachers are very smart, so they are recognizing, but and somewhere there is a lag. So what happened? That happens. In the sometimes what happened? So number of newses also we seen in the class. So even though he is a faculty teacher, what he's doing? The harassing to the children, sexual abuse. So yesterday one video also completely viral in the Facebook and some other. One Telugu teacher was slapped by the some female parents. So that is also. So what happened? So what happened in the situation? So the students unable to express. They don't know where to go. They don't know what happened to them also. So that is also completely stress. That leads to lifelong stress. In the sense, completely what happened? The stress completely, the whole life, that is what completely disturbing their life. So in the education, in the profession, completely, they may be isolate, they may be completely moody, maybe depression, undergoes to the depression. Number of things happen. That is also childhood stress. So at the same time, so chronic illness, maybe food. So mostly we are on the pampering, love, affection of the kids. So what happened? We are giving anything to the kids for taking. So irrespective of their age and irrespective of their capability also, we are providing everything. So what happened? Without exercise properly, proper no diet, what happened? They have suddenly chronic illness, maybe because of diseases, maybe because of weakness also, and sudden hospitalization. These all are one kind of causes of stress at the childhood. And then coming to the adolescence, 1 minute. Especially for the adolescents, what happened? So the people at the age of teenage, teen means 12 to 19 years. This is a very crucial period. This is very crucial period. What happened at the adolescence, the people have, first of all, physically, they are imbalanced hormonal. So first of all, the hormone is the causes of the stress internal physically. So what happened at the time of teenage, physical changes are happens. So either male or female. So what happened? Because of imbalance, what happened? They are under stress, obviously. So they're unable to manage. At the same time, what happened? So there are a lot of pressures. What is that? coping with academic pressure. So coping with academic pressure in the sense maybe intermediate level and eighth, ninth, 10th class. So we give them some kind of what pressure and threatening and one kind of warning to the kids that this is your crucial time. You have to read, no need to sleep at all. So knowingly, so very less sleep you require. So first of all, read well. So number of bundles of books, bundles of tuitions, number of assignments, homework. So completely the age at the age of 15 years, 14 years, so the people completely under stress. They don't know what to do. Fear of parents. At the same the pressure of parents. So that academic stress, what happened? That leads to completely stress. At the same time, lack of acceptance by the peers. So sometimes what happened? So knowingly or unknowingly, the peers also what they did, they're teasing. So they can accept the some very few member of people who they listen their words. But these people are unable to know and where to go and where to join, whom to meet, nothing at all. So because of that reason, what happened? That people also lack of acceptance by the peers. He would be isolate again. So isolate. So that leads to again stress. That leads to number of issues again. And increased argument with the parents. So this is very, very important thing. So we felt that they felt that what we are right, but parents know that what is his condition. So because of maybe hormonal imbalance, because of maybe academic pressure, because of maybe some personal problem, what happened? Unnecessarily arguing with the parents. So the parents are also sometimes unable to understand their conditions. So the too much argument, what happened? That leads to some other consequences. So 1 year back, I read one article in the newspaper, I think what? So brother and sister argue for the TV remote control. So I think you also aware of that one. So age of 13 or 14 and brother at the 10th class, 10 years, maybe they are arguing for the remote. The mother came and supported to the brother. So this is the condition. Immediately that girl committed suicide. I read it this article, maybe not some which newspaper I know, but I think so some other paper. So committed suicide. In the sense of what? That is one kind of pressure. So we don't know exactly. So reason. So but we lost one future. So that is also increase the argument with the parents and family parents also supported to someone. So these people taking as it is a big issue. So obviously he is the younger brother is a child, so that we support him. So but that will taken by the seriously issues. That is also, and number of issues are happens with the argument with the parents. And some are also when the parents argument also, I'll give the example because of a secondary trait at the same time, I'm sorry, relationship with the opposite sex with the parent argument. Everyone knows that. So I worked with some university previously, some university. So what happened? He loved one girl. The parents care about that, and what they did, they joined in other university, another place. He said that what I want to come there and I want to study there. But parents said that what? No, if you be here, your education will be spoiled. So that what happened? You studied there and come back. So this is the argument between the parents to the student. Immediately that fellow jumped from the floors, 10th floor, 5 floors, maybe he died. So the relations, that is also one of the major issue. So secondary traits, obviously we know that because of that is common to everyone. But at that time, the changing hormonal changes that leads to stress. But whereas the relationship with the opposite sex is, it is a big issue. At the time, people have a completely identity criteria at the teenage level. Identity criteria in the sense what? They want to be unique among the friends. So I am special. Okay, I want to be a special identification. These things in this process, they will do number of, especially for boys, they are doing the adventures. So selfie time, that is also nowadays what will happen. So going to the peak position and making the selfie. So what happened? By fortunately or unfortunately, unfortunately what happened? They fell down from that position. So number of issues happen. Well, this is also teasing, ragging. So these all are at the adolescent stage only. And then leaving the home for the higher studies. So at the time of intermediate, after the completion of intermediate and +3 degree, so what happened? They're leaving their home. So that leads to what adjustmental problem. Stress for what? Adjustmental problem. Adjustment means what? There have to be in the hostel, so new friends, new rooms, unable to adjust proper, they are not proper food, maybe even the proper food also they're unable to digest that one. So number of issues. At the same time, the educational pressure from the academic institutions, so exams. So completely what happened? This is the condition that leads to be stress within the people. And then after that, what? Substance abuse. What is substance abuse here? Substance abuse in the sense, people when they have a friends, they felt that what? It is a one kind of status. Oh, that status means if you want to be maintain a status, we have to be take some kind of substance abuse. So number of things are there, alcohol, drugs, some other drugs as there. So this is what recently we read in the articles in the newspapers also, some rave parties, some kind of what, some kind of film star sons, they are having the drugs. So these all are what? One kind of passionate, one kind of people for the passionate for the people. So they are following here. What that? They are models, these people are modelings, they are doing the modelings on the name of their name, on the name of their famous and everything, they are doing it. They are doing, that's up to them. But these people are unknowingly what happened, for crazy about the people, those are famous people, these people started to this one. And along with that, what? That they are spread this kind of position to the other. So what happened completely? It will completely spoil their life and underwent to the stress, not reading properly. And what happened? If you go through the any kind of newspaper, the chain snatching and some other snatching, mostly what? The graduate people only. Mostly in the sense what? Their bad habit, those who got the bad habits. So number of articles are there. So because of these kind of things only. Peer pressure. So you should take, nothing will happen. Okay, you should roam with the girls, you can do that thing. So number of pressures, education, okay, dress, okay, modern dresses. So number of these all the causes of the stress. And comparison with the others. Comparing, the comparison is very, very bad word. So if when you started to comparing with the others, what will happen? That leads to unhappy. So our ultimate goal is happy, even though we got the job and everything, but when we started to comparison with others, that leads to unhappy, and that unhappy leads to stress. So at the same time, body shaming. So some people at the time of age of teenage, so what happened? So body shaming. So what happened, that because of maybe fatty body, maybe because of maybe hormonal imbalance, but the people are started to teasing. Number of issues happens. This is also one kind of causes of stress at the adolescence age. Now coming to the adulthood stage, young adulthood in the sense after the crossing the 19 or 20, the people started to new career and they go for the higher education, maybe abroad, maybe some other universities. So what happened? They started to new career. So what happened in the career? When they start a new career, obviously that will lead to stress. So everything will gone well, properly, nothing stress will happen. But suppose there is an imbalance. So that completely what leads you under pressure and stress. That is also. And higher education, adjusting to the others. And marriage. So marriage for the male and marriage for the female. So that leads to very under the pressure of the people. Why? Because especially for the girls, they have to go to the new house, new life, new position. So what happened? So that leads to completely what happened? Leads to under stress. Okay. So that is also at the same time, marriages, new adjustment with the in-laws, adjustment with the in-laws, adjustment with the in-laws. At the same time, adjustment with the family conditions. And listen, there is one clause here, one information. So most of the divorce happens within the 3 years or 4 years only, if you notice or not. So why? Because unable to adjust with the conditions. So what happened after that? They are separating. So once they started to adjust with the male and female for each other, my wife and husband and in-laws, obviously automatically that life leads to happy. But this marriage is crucial life, the new life. And if you understand properly that relationship and everything, so your life will be happy. Otherwise, you will undergoes to the stress. And adjustment with the new relations, that is also in-laws, that is, and parenting after marriage, kids. Okay, the parenting is new for their life. So as a father, as a mother, so what to do, what kind of what parenting style, so they don't know. So for these also the people are completely under the stress. At the time, they definitely require some other family member support. But what happened for the new life, the globalization, unique family? So what happened? No other people will be there. Mother, father and kid one. So what happened at the time? Automatically, parents are living at the village, and these people are living at the some cities, maybe thousands kilometers far away. So what happened? No one would be there. So obviously that leads to stress. And after that also post delivery symptoms also would be there. After post cell delivery, sometimes what happened, the mother health change, health issues, that will happen. That leads to be causes, some kind of stress levels also there. That leads to be causes. Number of issues happen. And then relocating. Relocating in the sense what? After, for example, now we are doing that nowadays, even the on the job purpose, maybe government sector, maybe private sector, what? We are relocating from the one place to another place. So one village to another place. So obviously what happened? The changing, shifting, new places, again, new friends and new neighbors, new community, new society. So what happened? Completely it will go to the under stress of people. Unable to adjustment initially. That will take for almost all 3 to 6 months. That is also. And then deadline for the meetings and job. Once we joined in the job, obviously these are the bonus for us. So meetings, regular meetings, as a administrative position, you know that what kind of meetings would be there. Okay, what kind of role and responsibility would be there, and your job conditions. Okay, so it may be completely under the pressure. So maybe night duties and night shift and day shift, and the number of 3 shifts would be there. ABC shifts also there. That is also, and given the task when the same time within the short time deadlines also, and then loans, maybe new houses for loan. Okay, for education loan, some other loans. So maybe these all are what one kind of creating the stress that leads to number of consequences again. And the societal status. Societal status means, listen, according to Abraham Maslow also, there are 5 levels. Of course, currently 8 stages, but initially 5 stages only. Physiological and 11 were social, what's safety and sociological, and that means societal, and I mean self-esteem and self-actualization. We are there at fourth, say self-esteem. So everyone needs to be one kind of recognition in the society. So that status, already I told you that comparison, that status where we got means when we comparing with the others only. So if you're not comparing, we will be the happiest persons. But we are the human beings, we have to compare with the others, even we are compared with the own siblings also, compare with the own relatives also. So what happened? That leads to stress again. That leads to stress again. So this is what the young adult would stress. And then after that, coming to the point, middle age. So middle
Sir,
age in the sense, yes.
sir, sorry for instruction. Just you can switch off your video. Some voice or somewhere disturbance are there, sir. Some voice,
So,
sometime.
okay. Can I turn off my video?
You can turn off your video.
Sure, sir. Sure. Sure, sure.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Welcome, sir. Is it okay?
Yes, sir. Please go ahead.
Okay, sir. So where is my... Okay, now coming to the point. Where? So old age, in the middle age, coming to the middle age, so coping with the health problems. So once the young adulthood start gone, in the sense what, generally childhood means in the sense what, 0 to, maybe early childhood, leave it just 0 to 11 or 10 years. After that, teenage, 11 to 19 or 20 years. And then young adulthood, 20 or 25 to almost all nearer to 45 years, 40 or 45 years. Different books have different definitions, but once you enter into the middle age in the sense what? So that is called degeneration again. So in the sense, gradually we came back, our abilities will reduce, our capabilities will reduce, and stuff, and at the same time our memory, gradually memory problems will happen started. So some, because of maybe number of regions. So at that middle age, which is called 40 or 45 to 60 or 65 years, first of all, people coping with the health issues. So gradually the health problems will come, maybe BP. So nowadays the degeneration started at 30 years only because of job profile conditions. But at the time, generally we can say that 45 to 50 years. So BP, okay, diabetic, ulcers, okay, some kind of heart issues, maybe some kind of migraine, spondylitis, backache. So number of issues visited, in the sense they came to our body and we enter into our life. So we are dealing with the health issues and jobs and family and the doctors. So number of, this is completely what happened at the certain time, completely people completely vex. So because of the whole day, every day they have to take the medicines, and every day they have to take the regular food. If you stop the one, if you ignore the one, one meal also, that will affect on your health. So number of issues will happen. So unexpected things will happen because of stress only. So that is coping with the health problems and dealing with the teenage children. Dealing with the teenage children in the sense, at the time of 45 years, the people may be, even almost all your kids may be entering to the teenage level. In the sense what? So intermediate, maybe degree, maybe some girls also there, boys also, almost all that kind of age. If you got early marriage, then the people also almost all ready to, this one, ready to what? Marry. So these are what happened. We are dealing with the teenagers very, very difficulty. Why? Because there are also hormonal changes at the time of teenage. So they are not listening their words. They are not focusing on the parents. They are not what giving the priority to their parents. Mostly they focus on the what? Their friends, their peer groups, and other issues. So at the same time, they have some love affairs, love issues, and relationship issues, some other issues. So that kind of issues are very, very difficult to dealing to the parents. So this is also one of the problem, and the marriage and career of the children. So after certain, okay, we successfully crossed that age. So, and then the next day again, what? Marriage. So in Indian system, you know that. So of course, on the papers, there is no dowry system, but backside of the paper, the dark side of the paper, without dowry, there is no marriage. So where do they arrange the money? Okay, where do they, that is also. And then job. So if the children got the good job, then okay, but they're not getting job, again there is a pressure, their career. So where do they go? Where do they marry? And how their life? So everything also, even though from beginning to ending also, initially we felt that what? Okay, these people are very kids. So when they grown up, almost all we can escape from this kind of problematic situation or stress. Even though after the kid days also, when they enter into the teenage also, the same problem, parents have the same issues. After that marriage also, the parents have a, even though their marriage, their life, their kids, so these people are what, one kind of safeguard for them. So everything, and taking care of the aged parent at that time, the teenage, in the adult, middle age also, what happened, their parents also got old. So we need to protect them. We need to what, giving the medicines within the proper medicines. Okay, that is also. At the same time, they respect. So at that time, what happened in the old days, the old people mostly expect attention seeking. So that not happen. So that we have to be properly focus on the people. So that is, and job stress also. Job stress means, you know that. So our deadlines and some other commitments and higher positions. When you got the old, you got the higher positions automatically. So that deadlines also there. You have a lot of burden. So that is also relation with the spouse. So relation with the spouse also. If your life going very smoothly, that's okay. But sometimes what happened, there may be some misunderstandings, maybe some kind of unfortunately we got the some kind of proper, not for a suitable spouse. So always arguing, issuing most, that means what, expecting more from the spouse. So this all will what, one kind of too much pressure, and is settling to the new house and everything else, and financial conditions and income sources. When the family grown up, automatically what happened, the financial burden also increasing. That leads to again that problem. So income sources also. So we cannot properly provide the sufficient financial benefit to the people. So automatically that maybe happens, what stress and the societal status also. Okay, everyone, our friends, all everyone settled well. Okay, but these people not settled, that is one kind of pressure. Comparison, again, there is a comparison. So these are the lot of issues at the middle age that leads to be stress, that leads to be number of diseases and some other health issues. Okay, this is another one. And coming to the old age. So at the time of old age, obviously we know that what number of health issues we have. Maybe that may be headache, that may be depression, depression means what? Because of loss of spouse, that is also maybe some kind of what health issues, maybe any other health issue, any other problems. So first of all, at the time of degeneration, these people are unable to do their work properly. So what happened? Because of that reason, no one can take care of them. No one can listening their words. So according to psychology also, Eric Erikson stated that what at the time of old age, it their what self-integrity or despair. In the sense what? Ego integrity. So in the sense they want to be committed, they want to be integrated all the people. But what happened? No one can listen. So that what? They want to be quit from this world. That kind of stage old age. So here also what health issues increased. So when the old age become a sick, and the all the issues comes, unable to walk, knee problem, ankle problem, hip problem, digestion problem. So number of constipation, sleeplessness, number of issues also there. So health issues increased and relocated with the children. Mostly at the time of old age, the people wants to be what the stay wants to be at their own village. But what happened? No one would be there. Obviously, automatically what happened? They relocate with the children only. So again, there are new places, there is no same thing will happen. So that is leads to stress. And loss of spouse also. Loss of spouse. At the time of age, that definitely that day will come, definitely everyone will pass away. But at the same in that process, it is a natural process, but we we are not accepting to, we are not accepting. Our mind is not accepting. We are unable to accept the situation. Loss of spouse. So that also leads to be stress and living alone. So why? Because everyone is busy their life, busy with their life and busy with their works. So even the daughter-in-law, maybe son-in-law, maybe mother, at the same time, son or daughter, where they're living, they're going for their work. Even though the in-laws also, grandchildren also, they went for their education. But what happened? He will be the alone. That alone leads to completely under the stress and very low income. No income sources would be there. Okay, they have a lot of what desires, maybe for maybe lot, there are a lot of wishes, but what happened? Because of the low income or no income, what happened? That completely leads to be again stress and adjustment with retirement. So this is very difficulty. So very low level people, if the retirement they got the retire, okay, that's okay, they can adjust. But high profile people, when they got retired, what happened? So after that, they want to be in the in same power, but unfortunately, what happened? No one give the proper respect after the retirement. So that leads to these kind of issues. Personally, I have a experience with one person. So he retired with some high position from the Department of Police. But after that, what happened? So when he got the retired, he goes under the stress. Always, whenever I went to his home, okay, he is watching the mirror, his face only, and he was telling that what you people go that side, you home guard, you go that side, you home guard that you go, you police, you go some smart security level. So number of commandings. In the sense what? That kind of depression. He went under depression. No one can listen. So these kind of problems also. And loneliness at the same time, low strength, no, unable to work, unable to hold the things, unable to lift the things. So that unable to walk, they need one support, one person's support. So what happened? Because of also they went the stress and unable to do their personal works also. These are the number of things are there. Of course, these are the few examples in their life which causes of the stress. Okay. And then this is what the general adaptation syndrome who developed this one, the Dr. Shelley developed this one. So he developed what the stress, how it comes in our life. What are the phases of the stress? Generally, the stress is three phases. One is alarm state, alarm phase, and the resistance stage, and exhaustion phase or death. So these are the three phases in our life. Initially, the stress comes like an alarm. In the sense what organism became aware of a stressor. So currently we all under the stress. We know that. So this is alarm state. Okay, the what that prepare to the resist of the stressors and adrenal activity and cardiovascular and respiratory functions also increasing when the breathing and everything goes heart rate and internal secretions also completely increasing at the time. Body become a respond to ready to respond or fight. That is also at the same time increasing the heart rate and BP and breathing, that is, and accept of sense or memory improve. So these all are what? It is one kind of alarm state of the stress. We are under stress. It is one kind of alarm for the people. Okay, for these, we can manage. But when beyond the next stage, resistance phase, we started to resistance. What that? We can addicted, we can adopt that kind of situations. But at the long term, what will happen? The decreasing of the productivity, that is the main symptom here in the resistance phase. Body reserves are ready, and is what that circulating levels of what that corticosteroids also increasing. Application of various coping mechanisms. We are applying the various mechanisms to achieve the sustainable adaptation and relatively constant resistance to the stressors, but decreasing of the productivity. This is what here the resistance phase. And exhaustion stage also there. What is the exhaustion stage means? Burst. So completely either what affected by that kind of situation or death also. Resources completely depleted. Never store the extra energy, fatigue rapidly, shouting, fighting, arguing for the smaller issue also. Okay. And then come sometimes what? Unable to sleep also, increasing the chance of diabetes, increasing the blood pressure, heart rate, okay, strokes and other diseases. So these are the three levels of the stress in our life. One is alarm state, the resistance stage, and exhaustion stage. So be aware of that. At the time of the alarm state only, we need to be overcome that situation. Otherwise, nothing will happen. If you felt that nothing will happen, the resistance stage will start. After that, and there is no escaping the exhaustion state. So there is a small example regarding that what? The frog and hot water. You know that. Suppose if you keep the frog in the water and if you boil the water, if you giving the some kind of temperature to the hot water, initially what happened? The frog felt that what? We can escape. Nothing we can bear. So nothing will happen. So when the temperature will high, at that time, there is no productivity in the sense of there is no energy to escaping from the situation. So obviously what happened? The frog will die. So this is the happens here. The stress also same thing. Gradually enter into our body. If you are not recognized, that will hold for the few years. After that, it will kills you. Otherwise, it will completely damage your life. This is the only the theory of Shelley. Okay. And then what are the signs and symptoms of stress? Okay. So I think so these are the signs, cognitive signs. What are the cognitive signs means? Memory problems, inability to difficulty of concentration, and poor judgment, and seeing only as a negative side only. Negative cognitive means come to thinking process. Anxious, ruminating thoughts, come to repeating thoughts also, constant worry, and moodiness in the emotional state, irritability, short-tempered, agitation. So I am going to conclude a bit of early. So almost all time, your given time is almost all time up, so that I'm concluding now, and now only. So
No,
sense
sir.
of,
No, sir. You can continue. There is no problem. You can continue, sir.
okay, sir. Then okay.
Okay. Okay, sir.
So moodiness also. Moodiness in the sense what people are completely moody. Simply we can call it as a depression. So not the depression disorder, depression it is. And irritability, shouting at the people, and short-tempered also, agitation, inability to relax. Even though if you want to be relaxed, no relax. If you want to be sleep, there is no sleep. And feeling of overwhelmed, and sense of loneliness and isolation and depression and general unhappiness. So these all are emotional symptoms, signs and symptoms of the stress. Whenever you feel these kind of symptoms, you can understand that what this is stress only. Okay. At the same time, physical symptoms also there, unnecessary pains, okay, muscular tensions, cramp muscles, okay, next at the same diarrhea, constipation also, nausea, dizziness, and stomach upset, that kind of problem, and chest pain, and rapid heartbeat, and loss of sexual drive, sex drive, and frequent cold. That means maybe completely you need medicine also that for that. Shallow breathing and is sweating also. These all are physical. Physically, what are the traits will happen? Simply at my class, in general class, what I stated that what I will draw one picture and then I can set that what are the signs of symptoms man means. First of all, sweating. I can draw the some picture, draw water drops on the face and erect of hair and eyelids, wild eyelids and complete thirst and rapid breathing. So these all are what we can make a one picture. So that will happen, but so the because of maybe some time constraint, I am unable to prepare that one. And behavioral symptoms also, eating more or less, eating more or less. In the eating more or less, in the sense, people are completely avoiding the food. Otherwise, eating more, that maybe leads to be what? Eating disorder. That is called bulimia nervosa, anorexia nervosa, binge eating disorder, rumination, pica. So these all are eating disorder also will happen. And sleep too much or very low level of very little also. And isolating yourself from the others. They never want to be to talk with others and isolating themselves, self-locked. Okay, they don't want to meet with their family members and others also. That is also, and neglecting the responsibility. So never do the proper work, these people. And then using the alcohol. What happened here? The alcohol, in the sense, most of the people have one kind of what? One kind of assumption. They feel that what? So if you have under the stress, so you can use the cigar, otherwise alcohol, you can forget everything. So that is the wrong misconception of the people mindset. So that what happened? They are started to alcohol initially. There what? Some rare times. After that, what happened? Sometimes after that, month ends when they got the salary. After that, weekends. After that, regular weekend. After that, completely addicted. These things only happens. Alcohol, cigarette, and drugs to relax. These people felt that this one only. And nervous habits. So that means nail biting, pinch, patching. So everything also. And then coming to psychological aspects of the stress means, first of all, there are two things that happens. One is pathological consequences. The second one is non-pathological consequences. Pathological in the sense what? The disorders that leads to be psychological disorders. If you're under the stress, continuously stressed, that leads to be anxiety disorder and depressive disorder. And when you're under the non-pathological, in the sense what? Decreased the problem of abilities. And that is not the pathological, but you're under the stress. What happened? The problem solving abilities and increase the general negativity, irritability, feeling of worthlessness, and perform what that a very low level of performance, inability to concentration, coping behavior influenced by the source of stress. Then in the sense what? Withdraw, aggression. These all are psychological, in the sense pathological consequences and non-pathological consequences. So this is what the coping and managing stress. So of course, everyone knows that there are number of techniques are there. Just I'm briefing this one. So exercise. So this is the regular exercise. If you practicing regularly exercise, so that is almost all you are completely what avoid the stress things. Suppose if you have no time, why? Because most of the people felt that what? There is one justification, defense mechanism. So I don't have time. How can I do? So there is also there is some one ways. So what that? Do the cycling instead of car driving. Okay, there is no time. Go the stairs, use the stairs instead of elevators. And you can park as a far away from your office door. You can walk and go and walk and do and wash your own car. You can wash the cars, do your own works instead of depending on the others, and clean your house. So you have a time and walk on your lunch break. So number of issues are there. If you want to be do the exercise, if you have a strongly felt that I want to be do exercise, anyway you will get the time. If you felt that there is no time, even though you have given the 48 hours also, there is no time at all. So this is also happen. At the same time, proper diet, proper diet. So diet in the sense what? Take the healthy diet. Healthy diet in the sense what? Avoiding the junk food. So here that there is a funny thing that in our life, everyone wants to be healthy, including you people also, whoever in the group, who are listening the class. So you people also, everyone wants to be healthy. But tell me, how many are following the healthy diet? We know that oily food is what ill healthy, spicy food also ill healthy. Okay, no use of the spicy, no use of the too much salt, nothing at all. But without oil and without spice, without oil and without spicy, so we take the food? Never. We throw that food from a family outside. So at the same time, everyone wants to be biryani and spicy food. But do you know that what kind of color they have mixing? So color food, it never digests in our body, but we prefer that one only. But along with that, we felt that what we need healthy life. So that is healthy diet. So where we'll get when first of all change from your mindset regarding the food. So then only you can save. Of course, some circumstance also we cannot avoid. Why? Because even the rice, we want to be healthy also, but pesticides from the beginning only, we people are using the pesticides in the crop. So that is also our fault. But mostly, as of our knowledge, we try to avoid the junk food. So that is my suggestion from my our side, KAB side. Okay, and then sleep. Sleep in the sense what? So the most of the sleep in the sense what the people are addicted to the mobiles before the bed. Most of the people are what? So more people in the sense while they're going the bed. So at the early time. So without mobile, they never. At the same time, without mobile, they never sleep. At the same time, while wake up also, they're taking mobile again. So what happened? So there is a one quote also there. Early to bed and early to rise. Healthy for life. But how many are doing? So no one. So without mobile at the time of 12 o'clock, we are started to dinner at the night 12 p.m. At 11 p.m. we started to dinner. So suppose anyone will ask you, they said that what? So it is habituated for our life. They got up, woke up at morning 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. This day start will from the 10 or 11 o'clock. So when the biological process will change, what will happen? That leads to again stress. So first of all, give the priority of the sleep. So that is important for us. So that is also, and then coming to the relaxation technique, the meditation, especially I am from yoga therapist. So that is also meditation is very, very important for our life. First of all, it reduces the stress and controls the anxiety, promotes the emotional health, and same time enhance the self-awareness and the what that it's a fight of addictions and number of the meditation is the ultimate goal, ultimate way to reducing the stress. So people felt that what meditation in the sense what when without thought stays. So that is not here. I'm not suggesting it without thought stays because no one can do initially. So first of all, what the thoughts came to your mind, first of all, let them come, but do not judge that. Come and go. That's all. Others focus on breathing, other focus on your chakras. So then definitely that will helps you. And then one more also, deep breathing. So there are a number of breathing techniques also there. Anulom Viloma Pranayam, mostly people know that. And then Surya Bhadana, Chandra Bhadana, Nadi Suddhi. At same Kapalabhati is a pranayam, Kapalabhati. Bastrika is a Kriya, Bastrika Pranayamam, Kapalabhati. And then some other also there, what? Sitali, Setkari, so Yoga Swasa, stomach breathing, chest breathing. Okay, number of techniques are there. If you practicing, suppose there will be any other chances, definitely I will explain regarding the breathings. So almost all we can practice the 30 to 40 techniques in the breathing. So that is also helpful for the stress, avoiding for the stress. We have to practice that just for the 10 to 15 minutes. First of all, what happened that inhale and that breathing, that air will produce giving the proper oxygen to our mind. Obviously, or when the oxygen our mind will get the proper oxygen, automatically what happened? Your negative thoughts will gone. So that is the technique here. But you have to practice, but people are not interested. So that is at the same time biofeedback. Biofeedback means if you have aware of your health. So most of the people are using the smart watches and some other devices. So that what happened, you can know your biological conditions, maybe heart rate and some other pulse and everything. So these all are but to the biofeedback. You came to know that your conditions, and then you can start the what exercise regarding that one. So that is also helpful for you and connect with the people. So always be with the people with the healthy life for the happiest people, and so that you can avoiding the stress. That is also, and then personal strategies for the stress management. So these all are some kind of given the set of personal strategies. for realistic deadlines. Set your realistic deadlines. So don't keep the high level of expectations beyond our levels. So that is always kills you. And take the lunch breaks and go home to the in time and spend with your family time, your family members. Take your holidays leave and participate with your work functions. Establish open and professional communication. Respect your employees. Okay, and do not tolerate the discrimination of any sort. Report any instance. Okay, sign for workplace training programs, and if required, seek therapy to manage and develop the skill to cope up with the workplace stressors, and meet the experts, and develop a healthy work-life balance and creating the time for exercise. And then prevention of workplace stress. This is also at the how to your what avoid the stresses workplace at the office level, encourage the exercise and meditation. So currently what happened in the I hear that MNCs, so week of days they are spending, so giving the gym and some other time for some other relaxation for the people. So these all are what for open communication and boost your workplace moral and create the opportunity for the social interaction. Some kind of conduct the programs in the sense what maybe discussions, maybe some kind of dance, laughing therapy, some other exercise also. So then what happened? We can easily avoid the workplace stress. That is also at the same time some mental technique also. So mentally you can imagine that's what only we discussed earlier also. Reducing the importance of the event. First of all, give the priority of your health. After that only reducing uncertainty and using imaginary reduced technique, stress and self hypnosis and auto suggestions, meditations, thought awareness and rational thinking and positive thinking. These all are within our mind only. So when you want to live, I heard one class teacher statement, what that if you're honestly shouting on the kids, not impact on the students, that impact on first of all yours mind only. So shouting and what aggressive behavior, first of all, that what decreasing your health level, mental mindset level. So first of all, make positive yourself. And physical technique also what regular exercise and progressive muscular relaxation technique JPMR, and breathing control, breathing exercise, measuring the stress reductions and bio equipment. Already we discussed these things. And then reducing the long-term stress also. So time management is very, very important. So first of all, schedule your time and identify your what leisure time so that you can what manage your time also, so that it will be the stress cannot come in your life also, even enter into your life. And your attitudes, change your attitude. Don't think that you are the unique person. So you're also normal. You are also, even though you're in the higher position also, first of all, think that you are the normal, common human being. So everyone also human being. If you felt that, definitely your mind said you never what get the any other stress, and keeping things in a perspectives, and at the same time staying in control, attitude to change, and attitude to other people, and slowing down out of work, and health and nutrition exercise already discussed. You will ask your inner voice, so that will helps you understand your stress levels. Laugh therapy, talk therapy also there. Talk therapy means we can talk, otherwise that is called in the psychology CBT, cognitive behavior therapy. Make self-care as a self-care a priority. And some other also there, keep positive attitude and the limit of appropriately, and assertive instead of the aggressive. And avoid the alcohol, drugs, and compulsive behavior to reduce the stress. And at the same time, seek out the social support. Spend enough time with your those who loves you and your family, mostly our family members only, and some close friends only. If you're practicing well, these all things, definitely then stress never enter into your life. So this is what my presentation, and I hope that this will help you a lot. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir,
Thank you,
for
ma'am.
this wonderful presentation. So we have few questions.
Yes. Shall I turn on my video?
Uh, yeah, it's as per your wish. If you are comfortable.
5 minutes. Good.
So, sir, if you can just refer to the chat box.
Yes, I just opened the chart box.
Okay.
Food which will be help to control the stress in different levels. Already I told you that in yoga, sattvic ahar